Right now, welcome back to Stretford, Paddock, Stephen Howson. Joe sent me some questions to go over about tonight's game. But before I get into that, I just thought I'd say one of the most complete performances I've seen in a long time from United. Really, really pleasing performance. Felt like the entire team played like a team, digging it out for each other. And a Tottenham team that's been flying. A lot of people really sort of rating to be inside the top four coming into the season just look miles off us. So very, very pleasing in that sense from the performance sense. But let's see the questions that Joe's got for us. So, how good was the performance? The best this season? Yeah, I would say it is. And I think it's not just the fact that it was a good performance. It's built on there's a lot of similarities between this performance and the Newcastle performance. I think just at times Spurs' line found itself a little bit higher and therefore a little bit more vulnerable. But Newcastle sort of sat back a lot more. But from United's perspective, a lot of the performance was very similar. We took up almost identical sort of shapes and patterns, and we was as patient and composed as we were against Newcastle. But the opportunities that we had happened to come off in this game. And I think what the frustrating thing about weekend is now is those extra 2 points would really moved us up in the league and have us breathing down the necks of City and Spurs at the moment. And I feel like that's where this United team really is. Second question from Joe is, was I surprised at how much United dominated the game? Yeah, I think so. I think I expected a lot more from Conte and from this Spurs team, which has been, well, like I said, getting raved about a little bit and getting a lot of plaudits, and the strengths that they're going to have, and they put a hell of a midfield out against us today, and you've got Kane and Son, literally the Premier League's most deadly partnership, and we just shut it down. Shut absolutely every single part of it down. It was almost easy for us at times, I thought. United had 28 shots against a supposedly defensively sound Spurs. How good were United tactics today? Again, I like I said, I don't think there was a massive difference between what we had on Sunday and what we did today. I think Fred was better today. Bruno Fernandes was better today. But I thought Anthony played the same way. Sancho was pretty similar. I thought, Delo and Shaw were quite similar in terms of what they did with the ball. The shapes we were doing, it just worked better against Tottenham, or Tottenham give us more chance than Newcastle did. Newcastle defended very deep, offered nothing going forward, as did Spurs, and I think that's a testament to, people are looking at what we did, 28 shots, you're looking at what the attack did, but let's look at what the defence is doing. Brown and Martinez are playing some brilliant defensive football at the moment, and they don't look threatened. The composure that they exhibit, and Luke Shaw and Delo as well, I think they're both of those are in good form too. I think it'd be wrong to sort of overlook how good the defensive platform is, and you look at how high Varane was at some times today. He was in Spurs' final third with the ball. Like, that's how high we can get. How high is our defensive line? It's nearly in the opposition box. That's how high it is. Unbelievable. And we're 10 league games in. I don't think Ten Hag's getting the credit he should be getting. Considering some of the performances of the teams and the managers around him and the praise that they're getting, Ten Hag's getting none of that for me. Next question is, Bruno Fernandes got a lot of stick. Today he had the most shots with 6, most chances created with 9. Most attacking for passes with 31. Only Casemiro had more ball recoveries than Bruno. Back to his best against Tottenham. I thought Bruno was a lot deeper tonight. And I think that might be the difference between what happened on Sunday and what happened today, actually thinking about it. Bruno, against Newcastle, was trying to be the person on the end of the balls. When you're trying to put a ball, especially Newcastle's defence, it's huge, right? When you're trying to put crosses into the box, and it's Bruno on the end of them, he ain't getting on the end of them. Whereas Bruno's attributes, as he's proved tonight with 9 key passes, he is a chance creator. That is what he does. He was creating a lot of chances, obviously. Statistically created a lot of chances. He also had a very high pass completion tonight as well. That might have been the fundamental change, and that might be down to Ten Hag, might be down to the player, might be a combination. But he was further back, and therefore you're actually getting him to do the good things he can do. I think that there's a lot of stick come Bruno's way this year, and some of it's valid and some of it's just not. But he's best at creating stuff, and he has to be allowed to have a low pass completion. I don't understand why people get all excited about, oh, even if he'd have had 60% pass completion, he created 9 chances. If people are doing the job at the other end of the pitch, that's a lot of goals. So it's nice to see Bruno getting a little bit of praise because he's had a bit of shit this year, and I don't necessarily think it's been entirely justified. But yeah, he was good. And the final question now, is that the standard for the rest of the season? No. Oh, maybe it is, yeah, actually. I was going to say no, I expect more. But then I guess, so this would be the standard because this is going to be the minimum you expect. I'll change it to that. This is the minimum performance level I expect from United now. We've shown, over the last few weeks, we've started to develop this sort of defensive stability. And it's a few games now where United have kept clean sheets. The City game aside, City can just do that to people, right? Especially to us at the moment. But we've got something that we didn't have last season, which is the ability to keep clean sheets. And if you can keep a clean sheet, you ain't going to lose a game. You have to go and score to start winning those games. But if you don't concede, you don't lose. And that's a trait that you got to have to start being a team that's considered a top 4 side. And we haven't really had that for a minute. We've gone through periods of being great defensively and then shocking defensively in recent years. And I think if we want to really make a concerted effort to be a team that can go on and challenge, you have to start putting a few things right. You either have to start scoring loads and loads of goals, or you have to start with a mean defense. You don't just turn into both of those at the same time. You turn on one and then you fix the other. It looks like we've gone with trying to be defensive and solid first, which means that we've got that attacking flair to unlock. And do you know what? I haven't touched on him tonight in the slightest. I am loving watching Anthony play at the moment. I think he's got a real sort of fire in him, and I like the way he plays. And you know, obviously we know Martinez has got that, but that's not something I knew that Anthony had inside him. And I'm enjoying it. And you know, and Casemiro's brought just a level of composure that we've been desperate for. Real positives tonight. Real positives. Really enjoyable. And you know, long may it continue. I'm now looking forward to playing the likes of Chelsea. Saying, yeah, let's see what we can do. It's going to be a hell of a battle.